And yep, he is coming on. It says Harry there. Much better than the last
Oh,
profile picture I got. Hello. So I mean,
hello. Yeah.
what I usually do at the start of interviews is get you to do some solve or something. So your best ranking except for FMC is Pyraminx. So I want you to solve.
You don't want me to do an FMC solve?
Well, I mean, it would use up the entire 40 minutes we've got, wouldn't it? Although, have you ever done like speed FMC or anything like that?
Hmm. I think it's overrated speed FMC. I'm a purist.
Oh,
Right,
right.
so you just want me to do the scramble there
Yeah. Do a pyramid solve.
and put my screen down like this?
Yeah, I guess. Be nice to see a sub three solve.
I'll try my best.
You've
I
got
can't make.
NR2 for another few days, so
Cool.
oh, you're frozen, I think. What's happened there? Are we gonna miss his pyramid solve? That'd be a shame. Yeah, what's happened there? Looks like it is frozen. Top share. Let's see if he comes back.
All right. Sorry, I think my Wi-Fi just dropped out, but it seems to be back on fine now.
Okay. Did you solve the Pyraminx?
I did, but quite slowly.
Right. Well, I'll give you
I
another
dropped.
chance then.
Give me another try.
Yes, considering nobody can see that.
Yeah. When did it cut out of interest?
Pretty much just as you were about to start the solve. Like
Oh, fantastic.
your fingers were touching the Pyraminx, and I thought, is he going to put it down on the timer? You didn't.
Okay. There
Oh, what
you
time
go.
was that?
I was 257.
257. Okay, that is sub NR for now. Probably won't be for much longer. So, yep, obviously, you've frozen again. All right.
Oh, is it all right?
It is
Sorry, I
now.
froze for a solid few
Yeah.
seconds there.
We did get your pyramid solved this time, though.
Okay,
So of course, you did have Pyraminx NR at one point, didn't you?
mm,
It has been narrowly
yeah,
beaten,
few points.
2.72 NR. So,
Yeah,
are you going to get that back ever? Yes.
I'd like to. I'd like to have one more Pyramix NR, and then I'm happy to let Daniel Partridge or someone else beat it. But I'd like just one more would be nice. Then I
Well,
can retire from.
when are you going to get that?
Well, I'll try my best. UKC is my next competition, so we'll see what can be done there. But I haven't got my hopes up, I'll be honest. Especially
Mm,
considering, yeah, we'll
mm.
see. We'll see.
Daniel Partridge has got 3 rounds at Wakefield this weekend.
I know. I'm going to be watching very carefully. He's on for big things, Daniel. I think he's
Mm,
got a lot of very fast times and can compete well when he's in competition as well, which is very important. So
yeah, although
yeah,
he
wouldn't be surprised if we see some more national records from him soon,
get
or some national records.
2.73 average, didn't he, last time, which was quite funny.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit close, a little bit close for comfort.
Yeah.
Um,
So, of
but
course,
yeah,
your worst average ranking is currently Clock. Now,
is it?
yes, it appears so. Clock. Yeah. So you were talking about Clock last time. I have actually tried to implement some of the lucky cases you explained, where you have pins to fix But of course, you've frozen again, which is getting rather funny now. Let's make some fun of it while he just freezes. Yep. So we have a clock here, 7.16. And yeah, I guess while Harry is frozen, I might as well just mess around with some clock. Yep. So yeah, considering this doesn't cut out, I might have to just edit this out. But anyway, let's solve a clock just for fun. Actually, yeah, you can't see anything I'm doing, can you? Because everything I'm doing is on the opposite side, isn't it? But oh, look, I got 3 correct there. So let's just put that one pin up, line them all up, and then I've got them all correct. See, this is the sort of thing fast clock people like Harry can teach me. Maybe it'll come in useful at Wakefield to stop Harry overtaking me in summer ranks. And obviously, I mean Harry Owen, not Harry Savage. There's no way I'm beating him anytime soon. That's Fabio's job. There we go, you're back. I did get to demonstrate your clock tips.
Exactly. I'm trying to keep them secretive. So I cut out just after you said that clock was my worst rank in the UK. Or
Well,
worst average rank in the UK.
well, you can see it right there, can't you? So,
Mm, no. So I should probably get practicing on that as well.
although in terms of world ranking, it's nowhere near your worst. So yes, because the UK is ridiculously good at clock.
Yeah, it's one of those events that UK's always been traditionally very, very good at. Even back when in Ryan Jones's day, he was very high up in the world. I can't remember where he was, but
Mm.
yeah,
And he's
close to
competing at
ER especially.
Wakefield. Yeah, he's back. He's
Yeah,
competing at
yeah,
Wakefield.
I saw he competed last or a couple of weekends ago as well.
Yeah, he was at
Um,
Lincoln. He's competing in my clock out tournament as well.
oh, exciting, exciting. How many people you got for that? Is it 8 again? And
Yeah,
similar thing to 2 by 2.
8 again. This time I managed to get the entire top 8 on the psych sheet. Haven't
Oh, brilliant.
gone out.
That's really good.
So yeah, how was
That
your
should be good fun.
how was your experience with the 2 by 2 knockout tournament anyway?
It was good fun. Especially on that first solve because there was a very easy solution. And Charlie and I obviously both saw it. And to beat him was I got 1.2 something, he got 1.3 something. So that was an exciting start to the tournament for me. Um, although, yeah, it's completely fair enough to get knocked out by James afterwards.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
admit I shouldn't have actually paired you against him. I should have put you against Nicholas Archer, but
All right.
it kind of got messed up. I will fix that
Mm,
at Wakefield.
yeah. Who remind me who won in the end? I can't remember.
It was actually Nicholas Archer because
It
James
was
Alonso
Nick Sargent.
plus 2'd.
Oh no.
Actually,
So
no, I
it's,
think Nicholas Archer would have still won by like a fraction of a second, but James Alonso plus
oh, okay.
because if did you hear like the sudden death thing at the end? First person to fail
No, no.
under 3 seconds loses.
Oh, I didn't realize.
James Alonso plus 2'd, so
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Okay,
I
I
am.
didn't realize that was the kind of format changed a bit.
Yeah, I think that is a really fun thing to do. I think one of the delegates said, yeah, it was a good idea. It's just a shame it didn't work out. So I'm
Mm.
going to do the same. I think I'm going to do 7 second cutoff at Wakefield for clock
Oh, okay, okay.
because
Oh,
presumably it'll be Jacob Chambers winning, but obviously,
yes, yeah, you'd expect so when you unless he DNFs or something.
yeah.
But it's Oliver Custardin's competing as well, isn't he? And I think he's been getting some good times at home.
Well, unfortunately, he's ninth on the psych sheet, so
Is he? Oh, okay.
doesn't
So he won't
quite
even be
make
in
it.
the
Yeah,
he won't
doesn't
be in the
quite make
thing.
it, unfortunately. Yeah.
Shame.
Yeah, although if
Hmm.
Ryan Jones said he might not make it, and I think he's a bit
Oh,
ill.
okay.
So if he doesn't, then I'll try and rope in Oliver Gasseldine, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
For
So of
sure.
course,
For
other things
sure.
you're good at. are Scube. Um, so
Hmm.
I guess the thing is with all rounders like you is that you're not exactly focused on one specific event. You have to like put your focus in all sorts of different events, which I think means that you can't learn as much specific stuff for each event.
Mm.
So how
I
much
think that's yeah, I think it's kind of right, but also there's not a huge amount to learn for each event when it comes to like you don't need to learn algs and stuff for the majority of them. It's only when you have to do things like blinds. If you want to really improve with that, then you have to, learn comms and whatever. But for most of the other events, it's generally just, you know, learn an alg or two every so often, and then eventually you'll learn the alg set, and then you'll be able to practice it and get faster.
so I guess
So for something like Skewb, mm,
do
sorry,
you
don't you
know
say?
Do you know Sarah's Advanced then? Or
Yeah, yeah. So I know Sarah's Advanced because it's very kind of it's actually very easy to learn Sarah's Advanced. Because it's just combinations of sledges and hedges, and we're using them using the same principles for different cases. You can eventually, well, there really aren't that. Well, I can't remember how many cases there are, 120 cases or something like that.
I think
But
it's
in reality,
130.
they're all
Yeah.
most of them are pretty easy. So yeah, there's a really good tutorial that has stood the test of time by Kenan Lejeune from about 2014 about Sarah's Advanced. And it's still, what I guide people towards today when they ask, how to learn Sarah's Advanced, because it's got
Hmm.
just every case you could ever need and the best way of solving them with Sledge and Hedges, and it's really fast still. It's only when you kind of want to get sub three and stuff that you have to start learning algs for other cases. So some of the bad ones.
Right. And then, I mean, are you at the stage where you're one looking Scube solves, or how's that?
No, very, very rarely.
Right.
Um, it would only be if there are like if a twisted corner case came up and that was just my layer was just that, then I'd be able to one look it.
Hmm.
But I haven't practiced in a long time, and I have especially haven't practiced one looking Skewb in a long time.
Right.
So basically, I would be pretty lost when it came to most Skewb solves. Um, I used to be a bit better, but I'm nowhere near. Like, there's no. I maybe one look 1 in 25 solves, maybe
Right.
less. Really, very rarely.
Hmm. So I guess it's
Mhm.
just a case of solving the layer and then doing sledges. And I guess you
Exactly, yeah. And you can
do them
you can
incredibly
relatively
fast.
easily get an idea of what case you might have, um, just kind of by oh, there's an opposite center in the back or whatever, and then with that or a solve center, then you know that it's going to be one of significantly fewer cases, and you can probably rotate to the.
You can probably rotate to the correct place or whatever. I presume he's saying something like that. But yeah, he has cut out again. So it's probably going to be a bit of a different interview, but obviously it's still got to be 40 minutes long. So I've got to fill the time with random babbling. Um, so yeah, what can I do at the moment? Let's think. Well, I can solve this clock, can't I? You can listen to the rainfall. You can obviously click off the video, but please don't do that because that's just not nice. I'm sure you want to watch the rest of Harry Savage talking about his various cubing stuff. Here's obviously the second best cuber in the UK, best by single. And if you take his sum of ranks for the world, he is still better than Fabio. So, yeah, I guess we can go back and have a look at various things on his ranking and see what's worth grilling him about next. So, yep, obviously Pyraminx and 2x2 are interesting. And then, yep, can always talk about this case if he's interested. I don't know how many people actually know what you're meant to do there. That is definitely something to learn. So I can grill him about Pyraminx instead. Um, so yeah,
Wi-Fi's finally back.
yeah. So is it the same sort of thing for Pyraminx then as Scube? Is it?
Uh, Quite different actually. I won like the majority of my solves on Pyraminx. A little bit less officially, but that's because I, get a bit nervous during inspection sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, and when it comes to Pyraminx, so I use L4E, which is like it's a V first method. So you solve two-thirds of a layer,
Hmm.
and then use effectively one algorithm to solve the rest. But all those cases are intuitive, and I've worked them out over the years I've done Pyraminx. So
Hmm.
I've never really had to learn any algs for it, unlike Scube. It's a
Right.
lot, if to me at least, it's a lot more intuitive, a lot easier to predict where pieces are going to end up. So it's a bit more, it's a lot simpler to one look for me than Scube, and I think probably for most people.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just
Any
hard to turn. Is the thing.
well, Scoop's hard to turn as well, but you seem to manage
Well,
that.
well, for when you get to, if you learn how to do a Polish sledge, which I know you possibly learn how to do that, um, then every Polish sledge you just do a hedge as well, and then that's it. If you can do both of them, then that's all you're turning down. It's only for Pyraminx at least. There's so many different moves like this. Kind of you flick it sometimes, and you flick with a different finger, and it's all sorts of different ways to do it. And then sometimes you have to do some wrist turns as well. Like so,
Hmm.
I'm not very good at finger tricking Pyraminx, but the people who are the people who are much
Yeah.
faster than me.
And then of course you've
But
got
my
the
solutions I think are
well.
probably better than Jason's. Well, definitely better than Jason's. I'm probably better than Daniel Partridge as well from some of the souls I've seen. Um, just that my turning's a bit rubbish still.
Right. But then of course you've got the tips as well, which kind of cause trouble.
Yeah, exactly. They're a big part of it. And the strategy for tips is basically just solve them at some point during the solve, and there's no kind of rhyme or reason to it. Some people like to start off with doing all the tips, which is sometimes good, and sometimes when they're in a good location, then you can do like three at a time. With one kind of motion. If it's like this, then you can kind of go. Um, so I don't know. It's a mixed bag of the Pyraminx, but turning's the kind of most difficult bit. The seeing solutions I can do, all right, but just not the turning.
Hmm. And then with 2x2, I mean, presume you absolutely one look all of that and can freeze again. But yeah, just
Get an EG1 case or sometimes an EG2 case or whatever that I don't just spam TPS, which works out sometimes when it's easy, but oftentimes doesn't work out at all. So yeah, 2x2 I need a bit of work on.
right. I mean, yeah, George Scully still has NR, doesn't he? It's like 1.5 something, isn't it? Right, Harry Savage is back, so I can stop messing around with clock.
Finally back.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
problem is, so I got this new laptop about a month or so ago now, and for whatever reason, it's just having so many problems connecting to Wi-Fi, but specifically my home Wi-Fi. Everywhere else it seems to be fine. It's only at home that it's
Hmm.
messed up. It's really, really annoying.
Right. Well, I think you did get some stuff about 2x2 in, but I think I didn't hear all of your stuff. So I guess we should go back to 2x2 and
Mhm.
yeah. So you said some
Yeah,
stuff
so I
about
don't.
EG1 and 2.
Yeah, so I don't actually know full EG1 or EG2. I know probably over half of EG1, but um, not enough basically. So it's a real pain not knowing that I should just bite the bullet and learn them. But I just haven't been bothered quite yet, to be honest.
Mm,
So if I do that, I think it'll be a lot more easy for me to consistently sub two. But as it is at the moment, I can get lots of 2.2 averages, which I've done officially like loads.
mm. Um, yeah, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm guessing. Mhm.
Oh, back again.
Back again.
Yeah.
What was I
Okay.
going to? I don't even remember.
How far did I get through my ramble
I think you
till
did
I cut
most
off?
what you were going to say. I was going to ask you some
Okay.
questions, but I've forgotten what it was anyway. So yeah, the George Scully has the NR, doesn't he? Like 1.59, I
Yeah.
think it is. So
Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, how do you have any ideas how to get down to that, or are you just gonna leave that to him?
Well, I'm probably just gonna leave that to him. But I think in order to get faster than that in TYT, you pretty much just have to, if you can one look, turn fast, and if you know full EG1, EG2, if you know full EG, then you'll be, I think you definitely would stand a chance of beating that. So if I learned them all, learned the other, what, 60 odd cases I think I probably have left of the two outset of the, well, of EG1 and EG2, then I think maybe I'd have a chance, but it would still
Hmm.
rely on some good scrambles coming up. So yeah. But I
Yeah, I
think
guess the thing
as
is,
it is at the moment, it's definitely beatable by a lot of people with some good scrambles.
right.
George is
But I
just
guess
most
the thing
consistent for
is,
sure.
when you learn all these new sets, you've got to kind of have a change of mentality from, oh, I was going to solve this layer, but now, oh, it's easier to just get the EG1 case.
Mm,
Does
yeah,
that take
exactly.
time to
So
get used to?
I think so. I think more than that, it will be taking time to be able to learn and what kind of get used to all the different learning all the AUFs for each individual case. So being able to kind of truly one look rather than one look up to AUF. Um, so it's uh it's definitely one that so people could definitely in the UK at least, there are a lot of people who have potential to break a national record if the decent scrambles come up at the moment. But I think George has got the probably George is probably most consistent and has the most ALG knowledge, so most kind of skillful almost. So I think he'll probably hold it for a little longer. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to 1.4 sometime soon either.
Right. Mm. And then, yeah, let's talk about 3x3, I guess, because 3x3 is obviously the most important, I guess, in many ways, the one most people
Hmm.
practice. But I'm guessing you don't know that much about it, like in terms of extra algs beyond normal CFOP. Um,
Well, I know I don't know many kind of speed optimal ALGs, but I've learned a lot of just kind of random tricks from doing fewest moves. So if any last layer case comes up that is like 10 moves or less, I almost certainly know it. Um, which comes in handy sometimes when you get like for example, this case here. Sorry, sunlight's a bit dodgy, but it's basically like the kind of lightning bolt case. But where these two are solved and these effectively like an end perm away. And if
okay.
this case came up in a solve, I think I'd recognize it instantly and be able to do the alg that I learned for fewest moves for it. Um, and same with some other kind of ones that are a bit different. So like this case here, you can't really see it properly, but you can solve it in 9 moves. So I've learned quite a lot, and I know most of 2GLL. So I have a decent alg knowledge. It's definitely not just kind of pure CFOP that I do. And I've picked up a load of other techniques, from just solving over time, different ways to, you know,
Mm,
solve a last slot so you get a different last layer case, and being able to predict what kind of last layer case you've got coming up as well.
mm.
Um,
I guess with
so
that
I'd say
case
I'm a
you
bit more than
showed,
just CFOP, but
I guess
sorry.
with that case you showed, I mean, I wouldn't know what would like how does I'm guessing that alg you showed it swaps to corners, so it would be good as an OLLCP. But like, what does a normal alg do? Does that
I
is
so
it
the normal alg is well, I assume we're talking about this one here.
mm,
It's well, I'm not very good with my corner recognition, but I know it's when the kind of OLCP is the one that's like this to solve the corners. So I can recognize it when it comes up, because like these two are the same, and these two are opposites, and possibly something else. So I know, so I can tell when it's going to skip because I know that that's the OLCP case. But I think the other alg's a bit too long, and there might even be there's probably a better alg out there for the OLCP for the Diag one. I
mm.
just don't know it. I've just learned the move optimal one for that case because it's useful for FMC sometimes.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. And on the
But
subject of 3x3, I think it's worth talking about the um 5-a-side that you competed in. I think you were number
mm,
like 3 or 4, were you?
I was number 5 actually.
Oh, were
I was
you?
the first person up. Yeah. So
Okay.
because it was done on 3x3 single,
Mm,
um, at and it was the 1st of June, I think was the cutoff time. So Jason, who had recently got a 5.0, or no, 5.2 or whatever he got, um, he unfortunately wasn't in the team because his single had happened just after the deadline. So it was lucky that I kind of made it in.
right.
Um, but it was good fun. I felt a bit sorry for Switzerland because we were quite dominant, and it was just I guess the way the pairings are done. But
Well, yeah.
it was good fun. I enjoyed doing it, and it would have been really cool to beat Poland too. But yeah, I think we stood a small chance. We tried our best, but
It was
Team
2-2,
On was just
wasn't it? It was Teeman versus Chris at the end, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah. But we knew going into it that our only way that we were going to win was if we won three within the first four. So we didn't have to, rely on Chris versus Team On because we thought, yeah, there's no way that's
Yeah.
um
I don't think
going to
Teeman
work.
lost any race
Mm,
of anything at
yeah,
Euros.
yeah, yeah. But it was good fun though, and Eric was a really good commentator throughout the whole thing, and it was well organized. We knew what was going on, which is really good. Yeah, it was nice, good time.
Have you done anything like that before? Because you were at 2 World Championships, weren't you?
Mm, yeah, so I was in the Nations Cup, one of the Nations Cup teams for both of those. Um, in Worlds 2017, I was on UK 2, which I think we won our first match against Brazil and lost our second against USA 1 or something. So we were doomed to fail even if we did get through.
Mm,
Um, and then I did the same at Worlds 2019, but it was a bit different then because rather than like the year before, rather than stacking the teams so that we had all our best competitors in one and then the next set of three in the next team, in order for us to get two teams like for certain within the tournament, we decided okay, we're just going to mix them up because it was kind of qualification. Um, so we signed two teams up with kind of a mixture of abilities, so they was as close as possible to being equal, which meant that we did manage to get two teams in the tournament, which is good. But it did mean that we lost a lot more quickly because our team was overall slower than it would have been had we just gone for a kind of top three, 4 to 6 in the next one.
So was it 32 in that overall?
Yes, I think so. I
Right.
think it was 32 overall.
Mm. And then did they just give like a required combined speed or something that you had to get
I
below?
think they just I think they just accepted the top 32 teams that had applied in terms of 3x3 average. Um, so that was the way it works, and that was how we were kind of trying to beat the system and get as many teams into the tournament as we could. I
Mm.
think we worked out that if we had been even more clever about it and split the top 9 people across 3 teams evenly, then we would have been able to get all three in, but we wouldn't have known at the time, and it would have been a bit too risky.
Mm.
Because there's obviously a risk if you kind of slow down your teams too much, then you don't get any team in the tournament at all.
Yeah.
But we thought it's better to have two, seeing as we're not going to win, so we might as well just go for it.
Yeah, makes sense. Be interesting to see what
Mhm.
we try and do next year at World 2023. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you
Presume
gonna go?
I think I will do if I can. I'll have a look. I presume you'll be going.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have to wait and see.
Mm,
It's obviously quite expensive flying across flying across the world, but I'll
mm.
try my best to be there. But
And maybe
yeah,
you'll be
might not
good at
happen.
FMC again after you've got used to domino reduction.
Mm. Well, hopefully a little bit more than yeah. I've been doing a few souls with at home and I'm still not quite there. Um so my competition results are all over the place basically. And I either tend to either get, like a 24 or get a 30, and it's nothing much in between, as you can see from my recent results. But yeah, I still do enjoy FMC though. It's good fun. Um, Quite unsatisfying at times when you just get bad results, like at Manchester. I wasn't particularly happy with my results at all because they were all, high 30s, or sorry, high 20s and low 30s. So it just comes from being out of practice and not really being very good at dom.
I presume he was going to say domino reduction before he cut out. Let's see when he comes back on.